Hey everybody, today I'm going to be comparing a $800 Daiwa Saltiga to a $200 Quantum Exo. And these are your reels right here. So before I really dive into, the difference, I just wanted to, set the scene straight. I'm not bashing one over another. I'm just simply comparing the two and what I use these two reels for. Both reels are very capable, and I still use both reels. So to start off, let me introduce this guy right here. This is the Daiwa Saltiga 400H. Looks like that. And this guy right here is the Quantum Exo Pti 50. As you guys can see, both are very similar in size. They're also very similar in gear ratio. The Exo is a 5.2 to 1 gear ratio, while the Saltiga is a 5.7 to 1. They also have pretty similar drag ratings. So the Exo is rated for 20 pound, and the Daiwa Saltiga is rated for 22 pounds of drag. And also, this one has a titanium bell wire, and this one has a titanium bell wire. But I'll go into that here in a bit. So right out of the box, I've had this Saltiga for 6 months now. I've used it for more than 10 fishing trips. This guy, the Exo, had it for a year and a half. I've used it definitely over 20 times. You could definitely see the wear on it already. So let me talk about this guy first. Out of the box, this guy is solid. He's ready to spool, ready to go. There is, no play whatsoever in the gearing. This thing is a tank. Feels like you're driving a Ferrari, basically, if you have to compare it to cars. This guy, out of the box, feels pretty good. It had some play in the gearing, and it's only gotten worse. Out of the box, I didn't like the knob that came with, so I had to drill it out and put on this power knob. One issue when I first got this reel was the actual bell closing while I was casting, and I've actually lost quite a bit of lures, so it really pissed me off. And what I had to do was open up this side plate right here and shim the spring to give it more pressure to keep the bell from closing when you're casting. And I'm pretty sure it's not because I upgraded this knob. This knob is made of foam, and it's actually super light, and it was closing when I was using the OEM knob. So the spring that they have in here is just super weak. So out of the box, that's what I had to do: shim the spring in here and replace the knob. But besides that, it's been a pretty good reel. Performance wise, let's talk about the Exo first. This thing feels like a toy compared to the Daiwa. Like I said, there was slight play in the gearing. It is pretty smooth, but it's not as smooth as the Daiwa. The drag system is pretty good, but not as smooth as the $800 reel. Once you go over 10 pounds, this drag really starts to stick, while you don't see that on the actual $800 reel. It'll still turn, but it just gets sticky. So that's one thing I don't really like about this reel. Also, check out this bell wire right here. There's so much play in it. So flimsy. I mean, does it work? Yes, it works, but you won't see that on this guy. So let's talk about this guy right here. This dude is solid. Feels really solid. There's like no play at all whatsoever in the gearing, and this drag is super smooth even when you crank this thing down. This thing really locks up to 22 pounds. But yeah, this drag is one of the smoothest that I've ever fished with. This reel is water sealed, or I don't want to say waterproof because Daiwa actually don't say it's waterproof, but it's water sealed. This guy is not, so that's actually caused me a few issues that I will talk about here in a bit. On the first day out with this reel, I actually dropped it into a river, and I was fortunate enough to be able to retrieve it. And this dude was actually under the water for like 15 minutes. And when I was finally able to get it back up and use it again, it felt like it was never underwater. I mean, obviously water, everything was wet, but it felt brand new. And actually, I haven't even cleaned it. I got it out, and I knew that water could have gotten in there, but definitely didn't. I fished this in wintry conditions and has not given me any issues at all. This guy, however, when you fish under sub-zero, or not sub-zero, under freezing conditions, I'm pretty sure moisture is able to get into the anti-reverse, because I've had this anti-reverse go reverse on me 3 times already in sub-zero conditions. Why do I keep saying sub-zero? In under freezing conditions, under 32 degrees. This bail, so this whole rotor here would spin backwards sometimes when you're setting the hook, and I was just fortunate enough that it didn't tangle up my line or anything, and I was fast enough to react and stop the arm from going all nuts. But yeah, so that's one of the issues that I've ran into using this reel, and haven't had any of that issues with this reel. So here's a little review. Out of the box, it's not as solid. It feels like a toy. It does get the job done in good conditions. I've used this reel to pull in 10+ pound fish before, but that's where I would limit this thing. I wouldn't be chasing huge stripers with this reel. Anything from like 10 pound and under would be good. White bass, bass, hybrids would be good. But anything over 10 pounds, and if they fight good, might give you issues, and can't really fish this reel under freezing conditions because the anti-reverse will not hold. This reel, on the other hand, the $800 reel, the reason why you pay for it is because this thing will do everything. It will handle big fish. Your drag is super smooth, so even under the heavy load, you'll be fine. I've caught big, 20-pound fish with this guy already, and he's been holding up great. I've only had him for 6 months, so that's not too much time behind this guy, but I fished it heavily, and it still feels like how I first got out of the box. So this thing is still super smooth. And there you go. That is the difference between a $800 reel and a $200 reel. If you guys haven't subscribed, and if you guys do like our content, we're trying to bring out as much good content as we can this year. So hit that subscribe button and go ahead and hit that little bell, because every time we upload a video, they'll update you. And comment below. Let me know what you guys think. which one would you guys go for?